right, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. How you feeling, baby? You feeling good?
Feeling good. Week 1 of the NFL on tap. Getting into the weekend here and getting ready to head out to Indy tomorrow. Cover the game on Sunday.
So we'll kill the suspense right away. I saw it on the Sun Sentinel. Everyone in the Sentinel picked the Miami Dolphins. I already bet the Miami Dolphins. It actually went to Colts -1.5 the day they named Daniel Jones the starter. So I took Dolphins +1.5. Then it stayed at 1. It's been at 1 the whole week. So it hasn't really moved at all. And it stayed at 1. So I think they're going to win too. But I thought they were going to win last year. So convince me why we're going to be right.
Oh, man, totally different scenario last year to this year. Last year, that was that 4th game when Tua was missing on IR through concussion protocol. That very ugly 16-10 game when the offense was sputtering, but to say the least. The offense was atrocious last year, going through that rough stretch early in the year. So, no, I have some worries, but I have little worries about the Dolphins in this game, even going on the road. I know Lucas Oil Stadium should be a tough environment week 1. It gets loud in there, that dome, the sound. I'm sure the Colts fans will be fired up. They're honoring Jim Irsay over there, who the organization obviously lost this offseason. So heavy hearts that they'll play with, I'm sure. But I think Tua, Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, having all that back. I don't know how back it'll be, but I think that they will have that presence through the air. I think the ground game will get going. There's been an emphasis on it. So I think that those two sides will be complementary of each other. The secondary, of course, still scares me, but I love the pass rush, and I think the Dolphins can stop the run, which is going to be ultra important against the Colts and Jonathan Taylor and their left side of the offensive line anchored by guard Quentin Nelson.
Should we be concerned about James Daniels and an ankle injury from a man that had an Achilles repaired? So is it the same ankle that Achilles was repaired?
Yeah, we don't know which side yet because it's obviously an injury that occurred when media was already brought back in. So it was during a closed period. We watched the early portions of practice. Obviously, James Daniels was fine. He popped up on the injury report yesterday, meaning the injury occurred at some point later in practice. So we got to get more clarity on that. But it is concerning. We don't know how extensive that ankle injury could be. And I think we'll hear from Mike McDaniel maybe in an hour to find out exactly what's going on with him.
Well, that is a concern because for me, they have not proven that they have any depth whatsoever. We have no idea if we can count on anybody to fill in for anybody that goes down. And so they desperately need, I was talking about it today. Some guy sent me a text and he goes, "Oh, I'm psyched." And I told him, "Well, I'm looking forward to it. I just hope they can give Tua 3 seconds instead of 2. You know what I mean? Because the man lives at making a decision in 2 seconds his entire career, which is just absolutely terrible. And we got to get to a point where we're getting closer to the 2.8 to 3 seconds, which is what you practice with. You know what I'm saying? But he's got to make a decision a second faster than everybody else because he doesn't have a line to hold up. So these kind of things concern me because this other guy, he had to do that too. And they used to say, "Oh, the offensive line's doing a great job." No, dude, the offensive line did a nice job. He got rid of the ball really fast.
That quick release. I mean, once he decided, it was out.
He made them look better than what they ever were even. It's kind of like when Ricky Williams rushed for 1,800 yards. Do you really think it was a great offensive line? No, dude. It was a decent offensive line. It was just a superior performance by Ricky Williams that made the offensive line look a little better. There are offensive lines that really, really control a running game, but then there are outliers. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you have your outliers. And I think Tua is an outlier, actually, because I think most quarterbacks can't live under 2 seconds. They just can't. I mean, Ryan Tannehill had needed 4 seconds or 5 seconds in order to succeed. What I'm saying, he would have been dead in the water with these kind of offenses the last couple of years. That's why I'm concerned. I go into this game, I worry about depth, and now I hear about James Daniels.
Yeah, I think that's one thing you always have to. It's a caveat whenever you analyze where Tua ranks. It's you got to understand how quickly he's processing things, and that's not something that every other quarterback, like everyone that gets ranked above him, those guys, for the most part, are having more time to throw. Actually, I mean, I think basically every quarterback, because he's always right up at the top if you sort by quickest or shortest time from snap to throw and getting the ball out. So,
and don't forget, while Jalen Hurts has time to throw, that he also has a guy in the backfield that they have to respect. Yeah. Miami, all the way back to this guy for 45 years, nobody respects the running game. Are there outliers? Yeah, you'll have a Lamar Smith season here. You'll have a Jay Ajayi season there. You'll have 2 Ricky Williams, but those are just outliers. You know what I'm saying? And that's when your quarterback, when Bob Greasy played, you didn't have respect for the running game. You had royalty for the running game. You knew that the 5 guys in front were going to try to truck your ass. And then they had 3 guys that they can choose from to pound you. You know what I mean? And then Greasy's just handing off and handing off and handing off. You know, it's a beautiful thing when you can do shit like that. And that hasn't happened from this guy to that guy. It's crazy. And everybody in between, nobody's ever had that. Nobody's ever had a great offensive line. Nobody's ever had a great running game. And does it look like you're going to have a great offensive line and a great running game this year?
I would say yes if we have the whole starting 5 of the offensive line together. But going into week 1, you thought you would, but then, of course, the Thursday of week 1, you end up with your guard that you signed in free agency having an injury. Now, we'll find out. Maybe he doesn't have to miss time. Maybe it's just something minor. Maybe he's just got something he's got to play through. But if he is missing time, the depth is what we were always concerned about with this O-line. We knew the starting 5. All right, we're fine there. But if at one of the tackles you had to go to a Larry Borum or now Kendall Lamb, who has been reliable, but you just brought back and he's had the back issues. He's another year older, so you don't know exactly what he's going to look like.
And at right tackle, he's not really actually as effective at left tackle, Kendall Lamb. That's the one thing. That's why I think actually Keon might end up becoming the backup left tackle when it's all said and done, because he has the athleticism. If the knee is back, it might be Keon that'll be your backup left tackle and Lamb will be your backup right tackle. But back to your initial thing, as much as I like what I see from Patrick Paul, he's still untested. As much as what I like from Savanaya, he's untested. Mm-hmm. The center's money in the bank. That's all right. I don't have to worry about the center. I'm really not worried about him at all. The right guard, he has to prove that he can be durable. You know what I mean? And then we'll see. And then the right tackle, unfortunately, now has become injury prone.
Yeah.
So I'm not there to just say, oh yeah, no, this line can be great. I love the potential of it, but they still have to prove us right. You know what I'm saying? I can't assume that they're going to be great. Okay? I'm talking about great. When was the last time they had a great line and running game? There's no chance that they're going to be great this year. Can they be good? Can they be serviceable? That would be a nice first step. But to go from unknowns to great, damn, I would love to see that, but that's kind of really unrealistic.
Yeah. I mean, one line in recent memory, the start of the 2023 season, I thought that line was really strong. You still had Robert Hunt on this team when Austin Jackson was healthy and coming along. You had Connor Williams healthy. And before it was, I'm blanking on his name now, the guard, Isaiah Witten, before he went down with his injury in that game against Philly. And you had Teron Armstead. Now, that line looked good. But as we all know, they had, what was it, like 10, more than 10, 11 or 12 different starting offensive line units because there were so many injuries by the end of the season. So that's the unfortunate thing. I don't look at this 5 quite as well as that group. I think it has the potential to be close to it, but it's the durability factor. And now if you're already missing time with James Daniels, now it's either going to come down to, you mentioned Keon Smith, how you like him at tackle. He's versatile. He can play guard and tackle. They've used him in different spots. Could it be him? Could it be Daniel Brunskill? This is where you're actually concerned that you still don't have Liam Eichenberg, who's been on PUP. And when it all comes down to the much beleaguered, much maligned Liam Eichenberg.
He doesn't make me feel any better, bro. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just not oh, wow, we're really missing Liam Eichenberg. I'm just not really. I'm just not. I'm not.
When healthy, he would be your top backup guard, and he would be the guy that comes in this spot who started so many games last year.
But again, doesn't mean he's reliable.
No.
Sorry, it just his play is not reliable. It's not consistent. He ends up on. You know what? He's more consistent to get into a break dance than actually have a great game because he's going to be on the floor a lot. You know, I'm surprised that when he goes down to the floor, he doesn't he doesn't pose. He doesn't do something like breakdancers used to do back in the day. You know, at least Liam, if you're going to be on the floor, do a breakdance pose too at the same time. You know, grab your nuts or something. I don't know. Do something at least. Do something entertaining while you're, waddling on the floor.
A little Marshawn Lynch, beast mode.
Yeah, anything. No, but seriously, I just that is my concern. Can we give 2 or 3 seconds? Can we get a dominant running game going? Because without that, in these kind of moments, in loud buildings, in the fourth quarter, it's going to be a problem, dude. If you just want to pass. And then we know that their history is they're not disciplined and they have pre-snap penalties and all that other stuff. And so these are things that I do worry about. When you cannot just hand the ball off to people and move the offense that way, it just becomes it just puts the weight of the world on your passing game.
Yeah, and you mentioned left side of the line, unproven. So Patrick Paul going into his first year as a full-time starter. He did get a few starts last year, filling in for Teestead. Jonas Avayanaya, a rookie. So this is going to be the first time he's in an NFL loud environment against pros now. I'm sure all these college guys, they've seen loud environments in college. Obviously, there's great atmospheres at a lot of college stadiums. Maybe Jonah didn't play in like the SEC or the Big Ten where you had as much of that and the big like 100,000 people crowds, but still, you've seen some environments. But it's going to be different when you've got the environment, you've got them getting loud on third down, and then you also, instead of having some 3-star defensive tackle who's a sophomore in front of you, you've got DeForest Buckner on the interior of the Colts defensive line, or Grover Stewart. So that'll be a difference for an unproven rookie like Jonas Avayanaya, and then on the edge, Patrick Paul, whether he's seeing Kwity Paye or the other edge rusher they have there. I'm blanking on the name now, but I'll get it to you in a second.
No, I got you. We talked to Stephen Holder. He mentioned those guys yesterday.
Yeah.
Darren Waller. Okay, so I'm trying to understand this. So clearly they lied the entire time. They weren't trying to bring him along slowly or anything like that. It had nothing to do with that. Piecemeal, all that. He has 2 injuries, right? It's is it 1 or 2 injuries? What is it? It's hip issue.
Darren Waller, hip.
Yeah, hip issue. Just a hip issue. Okay. So clearly it's a hip issue that's been bothering him for weeks because he can't practice. Right? If you can't practice, then you must be injured. Right? So it's all lies about getting him. So here's a guy that's been injured for weeks, hasn't been able to practice. We're already through the important practices of the week. Today is basically a walkthrough. It's not even a real practice today. You're in shells and it's just, there's nothing going on. So I'm supposed to believe that for a month and a half, he's done nothing. And all of a sudden you're going to throw him onto the field. A guy that's got a hip injury and hasn't practiced and doesn't have real timing. And I think there's no chance he plays. It makes no sense. You can't tell me about all of this that you want to bring him along slowly and he really has an injury and he doesn't practice all week. And then all of a sudden we're going to throw him in there in the middle of an NFL game. He hasn't hit anybody. He hasn't gotten hit. You tell me, dude. I mean, this is the weirdest situation I've ever seen to bring a player back.
Yeah. And it only gets more strange by the day, by the hour. To not see him in either of these practices. I mean, Wednesday, Mike McDaniel goes ahead and tells us, well, it's because we haven't put him out there for 3 consecutive practices, meaning he's looking forward to, it'll be a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday array of practice. So he's saying, all right, we'll give him the Wednesday off so that then with the plan of giving him Thursday and Friday. But then Thursday comes around and we still don't see him. And that's when McDaniel had mentioned they're going to start doing the third down, the red zone. That's when you really want Darren Waller to get into team portions of practice. Well, he's still not out there. So it's just mind-boggling and was a DNP entirely. It wasn't like we only didn't see him at the portion open to media. Like, he did not practice at all. And then we didn't see him. This is what's really odd. We're in the locker room for post-practice availabilities. We don't see him at all. And then it was timed kind of like right as we're leaving, out of the corner of our eyes, we could see, all right, now Darren Waller is coming into the locker room, which, I'll give the 5 to 10% chance that was just the random moment when, okay, he was just happening to come in. But it seems kind of coordinated, like stay out of the media's sight because there's something.
You're still young. You haven't been screwed or lied to enough. That's the problem with you.
But it's just wild to me. So, all right, as it pertains to Sunday and game day, I would find it hard to believe unless there's something that Mike McDaniel tells us today that is just revealing that it's not what we think it is and that he is okay. But I'm looking at Sunday like he can't play. He's got to be one of the inactives. And then you're looking at it because right now you would only have 2 tight ends on the roster. And as far as the practice squad elevations, you already know you got to bring up the kicker, Riley Patterson, because Jason Sanders is hurt. You got to use one spot on Riley Patterson to elevate from the practice squad. You got to use one on a running back because right now you would only have Devon Achane and Ollie Gordon healthy. Jalen Wright's got to be inactive for this game. We know he's going to miss multiple weeks to start. So either Jeff Wilson or JaMychal Hasty maybe, they get elevated or someone's brought onto the roster. Then another roster spot is going to have to be made for a tight end, which they still do have Hayden Rucci and Greg Dulcich, remember, was brought on to the practice squad. So I think one of them will either be brought onto the roster or be elevated with the running back brought onto the roster. Saturday is going to be an important day when we find out what moves this team is actually making in order to be solidified both at tight end and running back while having to use one of the elevations on the kicker.
Well, let's see what ends up happening. But, at tight end, I'm not feeling good right now that I got to go into – I mean, I wouldn't have felt good with Darren Waller anyway because I can't trust him. You know what I mean? He's on a roll right now from the end of his career and the end of his marriage and the end of his rapping career and now restarting his career. All I've seen are inconsistencies and no commitment whatsoever. I don't see it. I don't see anything out of this guy. So I can't count on him anyway. But now I got to count on Julian Hill and Tanner Connor. Man, that's brutal, dude. That's brutal.
Yeah. I think Julian Hill's going to play a lot of snaps. So
yes.
A lot of fans maybe don't want to hear that, but it's just the reality. So, and he'll get the start because he's the blocking tight end. We'll see. We'll see. Tanner Conner. I mean, he's that pass catching tight end. He's got what is he listed at here? Yeah, 6'3". Okay, yeah, not as tall as I was thinking. Darren Waller's a 6'6", bigger bodied pass catcher, but still Tanner Conner's long. Was a converted big wide receiver who can get up there. Well, I mean, we'll see. He's got some potential in the passing game. He'll get some opportunities here for sure.
Yeah, I just let's hope that the receivers are at their best. The guy I do feel good about, by the way, is Malik.
Oh yeah,
that's the guy I feel good about. I think that the weakness in the tight end. Oh, here you go. Fantasy segment for you all out there. A little fantasy nugget for you all out there. In this game, because the tight end is so weak and unreliable and unproven, I think Malik becomes a much bigger option for you in this game. It's so obvious you need to go to Tyreek and to Waddle that Malik is going to steal some catches. And so I really like Malik in this game because you have no tight end and all the action is going to go to the two guys on the outside. And I think Tua can count on Malik. I really do.
Oh yeah. I would say if you've got Malik Washington in a PPR format, points per reception, that's Malik Washington's game. He's going to make some short catches. I think he's going to be kind of a go-to actually for Tua in those third down situations. 3rd and 6, 3rd and 4, those kind of situations. You get Malik Washington on either a slant, a short out, short in. I think he's money running those shorter routes, and Tua has developed some good timing with him. He's finding him. Now, I know it's week 1, so your fantasy team probably hasn't gathered enough injuries to warrant going down the depth chart to bring Malik Washington into a starting role. But if you have a deeper league where you can start some more guys, maybe consider him as sort of a play there, an outside the box little reach that could give you some potential. Because I think, yeah, you're right. When the Colts and all defenses, as a matter of fact, this year, they're going to be so focused on Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, Malik Washington is going to eat up a lot over the middle. And as far as the bigger, because we're talking about this in the framework of missing your pass catching tight end that you just brought in Darren Waller. If Nick Westbrook-Akine can provide some of those red zone sort of looks, be that bigger bodied pass catcher in the red zone when they get down there that Tua can throw the ball up to in close quarters. He did a lot of that in Tennessee, came down with 9 touchdowns last year. I still haven't really seen him build that chemistry with Tua yet. I don't think it showed very much in the preseason and training camp. But maybe something that takes some time. Like consider Jonnu Smith last year. He didn't really get going until that Indianapolis game, week 6. A little bit the Patriots game, or the 6th game at least. A little bit that Patriots game before that. So it took him some time. Maybe eventually NWI will get into that sort of same rhythm with Tua if he's around and healthy. But early on, I haven't seen that yet. I want to see if that develops come game time.
Well, I can tell you this, dude. Right now, Malik is plus. It's over under 17.5 yards. I like the over.
I like the over there. Yeah, I like the over on Ollie Gordon too. Rushing yards. I think he's going to be a big part of the game plan on Sunday.
Let me see what rushing is. Ollie Gordon is over under 23.5 yards.
Is that on Hard Rock? Because I saw they have that number.
That's in Hard Rock. HN is 60.5 and Ollie Gordon is 23.5.
Yeah, but they have like a minus 155 or something for Ollie, right? So I was looking at that.
Minus 115. It's not that bad.
Okay. Maybe there was like a weird. When I looked at it, there was like a weird hit glitch. Okay.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's minus 115. That's not bad.
Yeah, I like that number.
Yeah, I like that one. I love the Malik one.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I can't trust McDaniel to stick to the damn run, but I can certainly trust him to stick to the damn pass. And I know you're going to worry so much about those two other guys. I like Malik this year. I think Malik is ready to step. Malik looks to me right now, and you watched him at least in camp. He looks to me like he understands everything going on now. He knows exactly what route he has to run, where he's supposed to be, and his chemistry with Tua now, I think, is where it needs to be. That connection is there, and I think that trust is there.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas Tua, whether he admits it or not, even when you asked, and by the way, we'll play that question later. I don't believe deep down inside there's that trust. So I think he needs to find another guy to trust, and I think Malik is becoming that guy.
Oh, you're talking about Tua's trust with Tyreek?
Yes.
That you don't believe it? Okay, because I mean, yeah, Malik was the first one he mentioned for another question about while Tyreek hasn't been in, who he's developed, who he feels, and Malik was the first name that he mentioned, where you could tell that was, and then he goes on to do the thing of like, oh, but all my guys, and he starts listing everyone, but Malik was the one that you could tell he was authentic with, like, yeah, Malik, I've developed a good chemistry, and it shows. I mean, I think if you've watched the preseason games, which were available to everyone, he was going to him on key third downs, on a fourth down in Chicago, got a conversion there with him. Obviously, the touchdown that he threw against Jacksonville, that one was to Malik, where he threw a little short pass to the flat, and Malik made a move on someone, used the blocking effectively, got the yards after the catch, so he can do that too. So, yeah, I really like Malik Washington's game, and he's a very cerebral player, a young player who's smart, picks things up. He's going to be, I don't know if he's a leader yet, obviously, as a second player, but he's got that in the future.
Oh, he's leader material. He's a pro's pro. He's one of those, he has old school in him.
Yeah.
And that's what people will learn about Malik. And so that's what I think that's another reason why they drafted him. They wanted another one of those kind of guys that is going to be a gym rat, a professional on and off, all those kind of things. And that's what he is. And you can see that he's in a different comfort zone that he was in last year, where last year his head was spinning and he's trying to pick everything up and be a part of it. Now he's picked everything up. Now he's just playing football now. You know, you can tell. So
I think that showed later in the season. Yeah, he's the perfect match for Tua too, because he's going to be sharp with his route running. He's going to be on time. It's so much timing, and Tua is throwing to a spot, not analyze. Okay, the receiver, he is open. Now I'm going to throw to him. No. He is throwing to a spot where he expects his receiver to be. So it is vital that receiver is in sync with the timing of the offense, with the route, running the route he's supposed to be, aligned correctly. And I think Malik Washington does all those things. So he'll be in the right spot when Tua throws it to that spot.
All right, what do you got going on? So folks can check you out from now till post game when we talk to you again.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, I've already got a bunch of stories up from yesterday. The Darren Waller saga, the run game, what we know about Ollie Gordon dynamic with Devon Achane, how that could play out, and a lot of what Anthony Weaver was talking about yesterday with personnel, with the safety job still in flux, along with other things in the secondary, like is it going to be Jack Jones, is it going to be Russell Douglas, the nickel spot, how versatile the secondary can be. And I'll be previewing the game against the Colts. I think my angle will be that it's time to see how that whole offseason, whether it's the physicality, the run game, getting younger, the rookies, all that is going to come together, and we're going to find out week one. And then that'll take me through game coverage when I see you next from Lucas Oil Stadium postgame.
All right. Follow him on Twitter, of course, and he'll get it done. David Furones _ and catch him there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel, and he'll be back on Sunday's post-game show here on the platform. David, as always, thank you, my brother. Enjoy your travels and enjoy a little St. Elmo's.
Yes, got to.
You got it.
Thank you.
Baby. Good. There you go. David Furones, Welt Rheaume. We love talking about Jeff Welt and Daniel Rheaume. In fact, I'm going to be hanging with Jeff Welt tomorrow night at the Culture Room. We'll be having some fun. We'll be watching Michael Schenker together. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. We are in storm season, So save the number. They have their own adjusters. Many of our listeners now, over the last 5+ years, have called, have used Jeff Welt and Daniel Rheaume, whether they had an accident, a car accident, a truck accident, homeowner property damage, condo damage, whatever it is, storm, water damage, busted pipe, all kinds of things. They've called Jeff Welt and Daniel Rheaume, and the consultation's completely free. And folks, if you ever have any damage from some kind of a storm or water or wind damage, never, ever call the insurance company. I know it sounds kind of crazy, right? Because that's what you pay them. No. You call Jeff Welt and Daniel Rheaume. They send their adjusters, just like the insurance company is going to do, and then they attack the insurance company. And you never have to deal with the insurance company. It's just beautiful to never have that headache. 954-966-4646. Save it on that cell phone. I hope you never need to call them. But unfortunately, I had a bunch of kids think that they were fast and furious, and they went right through the wall of my house. Do you think I'm looking for that? No, but there you go. And Welt and Rheaume crushed Progressive. You can do the same thing. Save the number on the cell phone. You never know when you're going to need it. 954-966-4646.